taking some time on a Friday to get in touch with some folks that we've seen a lot in my photo vids that I've been doing. Of course, we've been going back, as you've seen, to some of the old Doug's Dirt Diary photos. One of the guys that props up a lot is Chad Brockman. He is 49 years old. He'll turn 50 here very soon. Well over 100 modified wins, but he's won in a lot of different things over the season. Second in points last year at Ransomville. Kind of had a shot at it, but he had one really bad night, and you're not going to believe exactly how bad that one actually ended up being. So let's head out to the western part of New York State. North Tonawanda is where Chad is. He's on the road. He's on the speaker right now chatting with us. How we doing, Chad?
I'm doing very well, Doug. How about yourself?
Doing very well. So let's start with Ransomville last year. Second in points, so as a casual observer, you'd think, wow, he had a chance at a championship, but you say not necessarily.
No. We had a couple humdingers there where it really set us back. And one night, basically junked the car in a front straightaway incident, and that kind of put us back there. And then on the last night, not only did I break one motor in hot laps, but I went home, got my other car, came back, and then blew that motor up in the later stages of the feature. So it was like a double whammy in one night.
So what happened with the car in hot laps then?
I broke a lifter in hot laps. So when I came in, I noticed it didn't sound right, and we pulled the valve cover off and found a lot of lash in the rocker arm. So it's like, well, there's nothing we can do about that, and there's nothing any good that's going to come out of it. So we pushed that one off to the side and went back and got my car that had the W16 motor in it, and made it to the end of the feature, started last in the feature, and we were up into the top 5. And on the last lap, it let go like you pulled the pin on a hand grenade.
Just like that.
And that was the end of that.
So nothing left of that one then, huh?
There was nothing left of that one, unfortunately. So, it is what it is at this point, and we put our focus on putting our primary motor back together and getting that back up to snuff, and hopefully we'll see how it runs at Can-Am in a couple of weeks.
Lifter, I know. Is that something you can fix, or do we take that to the builder?
No, I normally take it to the engine builder. It's just there's so many things that they see that you don't, and and I don't have the time to do it. So I'd rather just take it back to the guy that put it all together, and that way, if there's something that they can see that caused the issue to begin with, maybe we can rectify it then, other than just throwing another lifter in and hoping for the best.
Good point. And, of course, remember, Chad is a cash crop farmer. Sunflowers of Sanborn is the family business there. We'll get into a little bit of that here in a little bit. How much big block stuff did we do last year then?
I probably only did a handful of stuff with that. We ran on the BRP Tour a few times, and then we did the Ransomville Super Dirt Series race where we were running really good. I was up to third in that race, and unfortunately I broke a left rear wheel, and that ended my night there. So, and then we went down to Albany, Saratoga for that Massive weekend, and we ran pretty good there. Adjusted for the car. Really didn't expect the track to stay as bitey as it did. And, just over-tighten the car, so we kind of struggled through that race. But all in all, it was good year for the big block stuff for the races we did compete in.
How many do you think we'll do this year? I mean, do you have some particular shows that you're saying, yes, we will be there for that one?
Not really. Whatever makes sense for us at the time, because, I get really busy starting in May. Once planting season starts, it runs my season right straight through to December. So I'm pretty busy throughout the whole summer between the farm and the Sunflowers of Sanborn that, I can only pick and choose the races that kind of make sense for me for help-wise and for what time I'm going to get home in the morning.
That's true. Yeah, because farming, in case you guys don't know, that is an everyday thing. That is not a punch out at 5. That is not take the weekend off. It's an everyday thing. Something has to be done, basically. So what are our plans at this point for this season?
So far, what we're looking at right now is to start off at Ransomville weekly, and then we're going to go to the first couple races on the BRP Tour, see how those races shake up, and then decide if I'm going to run the BRP Tour and not run Ransomville for points because there's conflicts on Friday nights that would cause me to miss Ransomville. So we'll see what happens there. And then I think we're going to go across the creek and go over and do some of the races over at Merrittville and see how we fare out. As of right now, I only got my open small block, and Merrittville kind of made it a W16 only track, so we'll kind of see what happens.
What were the changes there? Because you're not the first person that's told me that. What did they give a weight break that makes it better? Or what happened?
Well, what they did is they made it to where the W16 you basically get a heavier weight break, and you can also run sail panels as well.
Oh.
So between the 125-pound weight break, 100-pound weight break and the sail panels, it kind of puts you at a pretty big disadvantage. So, I mean, you really have to be on your game to be able to run with a open 358 against the sail panel cars.
Well, which is more of a factor, the sail panels or the weight break, or are they about the same?
I think between the two, it's a big difference. But if it was just like if the open motors had the sail panels but still had the weight, I think it would be a little more equal.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you would, but they don't want to change anything to try to get more guys to come over there. They want to stick with the 2,300 pounds and the sail panels. So, I'll just kind of hit and miss what I do over there.
Well, will you have one of the cars like you did last year that has the W16?
We're working on that right now. We'll see what happens on that. I'm not really. That would make it so I had one car that was just for Merrittville only.
But it could also serve as a backup, like you said, right, at Ransomville, couldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple guys that run W16s at Ransomville, and there's just a small weight break for that, and they're pretty competitive with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't rule out running a W16 at Ransomville at all.
Okay. And remember the W16, guys, that is a crate engine. 427 aluminum block, correct, Chad?
That is correct.
Okay. And what is that, if you had to guess on horsepower? Because I know the small blocks are, about 590 maybe, something like that, 585?
Yeah, I don't know the exact. I've never dynoed one, so I don't know exactly what the horsepower and torque is on them.
Okay.
But I think with the tri-Y headers that they allow you to put on them, and the weight break and stuff, I think they're pretty close horsepower wise compared to like an open 358.
Okay. I know the torque is a big issue there too. The picture we're looking at, by the way, is from 2007. And would you tell me that's your now oldest daughter that we're looking at in the picture there?
I believe that would be my oldest daughter. Yes.
Yeah. So she's like 4 here, something like that, 4 or 5 maybe. Because you're holding her. So.
Yeah, she's 19 now, so...
Yeah, do the math. Yeah, that works out, doesn't it?
Yep.
So, 13 years later. So, that's about right, guys. That is right about there. So, and the last thing I wanted to hit with you, because and we only got a little over a minute left. I was doing a story. It was a really dry spring, and we were out talking to a farmer in northern Cuyahoga County, and everybody was panicking. Oh, it's really dry. No, it's really wet. He says there's no such thing as an average spring. Is he right?
He's 100% right, because there is no such thing as like perfect conditions. I mean, it always seems like it's either too wet and cold or too dry and hot, and it's just like I say before. It's like getting a hand of poker. You're dealt the hand you got of cards, and you got to make the best of what you got, and that's what we do every day, every week, every month, and every year.
Yep, that's the life of a cash crop farmer, guys. It's almost like you said, almost like legalized gambling. And once May rolls around, you've got the hand you got, right, Chad? So that's all there is to it, right?
And that's it. I mean, unfortunately, some days you don't work many hours, but there's a lot of time where you get put behind because of the weather, and all of a sudden you got to work 16, 18 hours a day just to get everything in, because everything goes by the clock.
It does, too. So wish you all the best, man. I'll keep in touch. I can't wait to see you. Guys, remember to subscribe, turn on the notifications, leave a comment if you'd like. Hit the like button, too. Chad, we'll see you soon, buddy. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, Doug. Thanks again, and appreciate all you do for motorsports.